Buongiorno a tutti. I'm sorry, I have no more Italian. That was it.
Please.
This is not a political event, but the reality is anything to do with His Holiness is political because the Chinese have made it that way. I'm here for the last few days taking incredible teachings with His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Again, giving really deep and profound teachings on the nature of reality, the nature of consciousness, compassion, love, acceptance, inclusion. And wherever His Holiness goes, obviously he creates this incredible atmosphere where I think there are about 12,000 people here, is that right? 12,000 people. And somehow it feels like there are about 10 people because everyone is of the same heart. We came here with the same intention of feeling bigger and better and more loving and compassionate than we were before we came here. And of course, wherever His Holiness goes, he includes all the other religions, all the other thinkers. So we always have people of Islam, we have Sufis, we have Judeo-Christians, we have Buddhists, Hindus, we have everyone involved. When His Holiness speaks, everyone comes and feels welcome. But there was something I was thinking of before I came up here, and I actually found it on the web. And it's a poem by a Sufi poet named Rumi. And this poem goes this way, and it's the way I feel, I think we all feel when we're around His Holiness. I'm going to read it off of English. Come, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of leaving, it doesn't matter. Ours is not a caravan of despair. Come, even if you have broken your vows 1,000 times, come, yet again, come, come. And that's the world we're all looking for, isn't it? When we can break our vows, we do the best we can, we break our vows again, we try again, we make mistakes, we try again, but we're still included. It's okay. We're still with His Holiness, we're still in the larger ideas that a human being can have. Something I especially like being here because the Tibetans are the Italians of Asia. So all of us here, this is not a caravan of despair, this is a caravan of love, and we are here with the greatest lover of our time, His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Grazie a tutti, grazie mille.
Grazie. Bravissimo, bravissimo.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Dear brothers and sisters, I'm extremely happy meeting with you, my brothers, sisters. We are same human being. So I think under sort of a different face, I think 7 billion human beings each have some sort of differences on our face. And the chromosome also differences. But basically, we are the same human being. So therefore, mentally, emotionally, physically, we are same. Then most important, not only human being, but also other animals, birds. Also, you see, naturally have the sort of feeling of self. With that, experience of pains and pleasure, joyfulness like that. So all want happy life. No, we call sentient being is a want problem. So therefore, we all have same right to achieve happy life. I always make clear, happiness, joyfulness out of physical comfort and happiness, joyfulness mainly due to the way of thinking, mental attitude. So, frankly speaking, materialistic society, you have the experience, joyfulness, happiness mainly through material value. Since we have this very sophisticated brain, so very sophisticated mind, so therefore, the physical comfort alone not sufficient. I think obviously the people in materially affluent society, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. So therefore, I always say share as a human being, intelligent sort of, also the sentient being. See, we have to take care about our inner value. So therefore, according to my own experience, as I mentioned earlier, we are same human being. As mentally, physically, emotionally, we are same. So I also have the potential of, too much worry, doubt, anger, so on. Then, as an 81-year-old person, I found mental peace, calm, not out of sort of dullness or dullness, but no things, very clear. But at the same time, fully utilize human intelligence, the reality of problem. In order to know the reality, just one dimension, you can't see the whole picture or the reality. So should use look 4 dimension, or including from above or from below 6 dimension. We have that ability. Other animals, no. So since we have such kind of sort of marvelous intelligence, investigate the reality. Once we realize, once we have full sort of knowledge, fuller knowledge about the reality, then our approach becomes realistic. So that very, very helpful to keep your inner peace, calm mind. So therefore, irrespective whether religious believer or non-believer, we are same. We have same potential. I think we should utilize our intelligence. In order to utilize our intelligence properly, our mind should be calm. too much sort of, say, anger, attachment, then our mind not, not stable, can't calm. So, with much sort of, emotional, then I think best part of our brain, which can judge objectively, that cannot function properly. So in order to utilize our intelligence properly, effectively, our mind should be calm. So obviously, anger, fear, too much attachment is not good in order to properly use our intelligence. So I always say, telling, we have to pay more attention about our inner world. So now I think the mental level, if we too much emphasis self-centered attitude, then distrust, suspicion, frustration, anger, these things come. When we take care, others are right, others sort of joyfulness, then automatically, you see, your mind, something tight, that loosen way. As a result, you feel much free. For example, when I give talk or meet public, I always consider I'm one of you. If I consider I'm Asian, or Buddhist, or Tibetan, and then particularly I am Dalai Lama, then you see too much sort of stress myself. The result, I developed loneliness feeling. When I look at you, human brothers, sisters, I feel much happier. If I consider I'm Dalai Lama, then loneliness feeling. Out of 7 billion, 1 Dalai Lama. When I think I'm human being, then 7 billion human beings are my brothers, sisters. Wherever I go, there's no barrier. So immediately I feel joyfulness and no basis of fear, distrust, and frustration. When I was young, I grown up with formality. And also when I visited China, Peking, 1954, 55, more formality, then sometimes nervousness. After I become refugee, and think more oneness of humanity, then I really feel very open. So therefore, I feel sense of oneness of 7 billion human beings. That kind of concept, I think, really immense help to lose our tight I, that feeling. Sometimes I feel hot, then I use this. So, yes. And more serious matter, now today, for example, here, we really enjoy peace and I think friendly atmosphere. Same time, same planet, at some area, people remain full of fear and anger. And the anger reached such extent, killing each other. So therefore, these fear, anger, violence, we too much emphasis importance of secondary level of differences, including religious faith and a different nationality. So the remedy to reduce this, we must promote sense of oneness of 7 billion human beings. Different religion, different nationality, there's secondary level. So the fundamental level, we are same human being. So we need more effort to create sense of oneness. Then some sort of differences come, including religious faith or different nation, with genuine respect or understanding. Other side, but the other party also part of humanity. We have to live together. So my future depends on them. Their future depends on us. So that's the reality. Accept that reality, then through talk, if there is some differences, through talk. Meanwhile, respect their interest. And also we can share our own interest. Through that way, meaningful dialogue, then problem can solve human way. When we neglect about oneness or sameness of humanity, and too much emphasis on secondary level of differences, then the concept of destroy other is your victory. It's totally unrealistic, outdated. In ancient time, yes, each country, each community, more or less independent, self-sufficient. Then, according to that circumstances, yes, destroy of your enemy is your victory. Now today, East, West, South, North, every continent heavily interdependent. And on top of that, global warming. All this is to tell us 7 billion human beings must live together, must work
Together. Must
co-
work for a
common effort
common effort.
regarding environment issue, these things. So therefore, now time come, unlike past sort of history, today heavily interdependent, and on top of that, global economy. So therefore, you see, violence on the basis of too much strong sort of concept we and they is outdated. So this century, 21st century, should be century of dialogue. And through dialogue, so we can avoid violence. So this century can be century of peace. So 21st century, about 16 years past, remaining yet come. If we really make effort with understanding about reality, I think eventually we can build this century, more peaceful century, and ultimately this century should be century of compassion. That's our common task. So here, each of you have some, I think at least 10, 15 friends. So share with your friend then each friend another 10, 15 friends. So that way, from one person, 10 person, from 10 person, 100 person, 100 person, 1,000 person, like that. So that's the way make contribution for change of the world through change of human perception. Okay. So number one commitment is promotion of sense of oneness of humanity. Then my second commitment is promotion of religious harmony. So all those major different world religions, I think about 2,000 years remain, I think, a source of compassion, source of love. And all major teaching, you see, carries same message of love, forgiveness, tolerance, these things. So all major world religious traditions have same potential. And the philosophical field, there is differences. That is necessary. You see, some religion in Middle East, you see, Kazota, develop. And some religion, mainly in India. So you see, there is some different climate and different way of life. So there must be, you see, different, or say the mental disposition. So therefore, we need different concept, different philosophy. So within Buddhism, there are different philosophies, even taught by same teacher, Buddha. So this clearly shows among his own follower, there are different mental disposition. So necessary, different philosophy are necessary. This one. So therefore, you see, the different philosophy, different concept, you see, it's method to promote conviction about love, compassion, forgiveness. So therefore, all major religious tradition, we have common practice, common goal. So therefore, we can develop genuine harmony among different religious traditions. So I fully committed to promote religious harmony. That's my second commitment. So these days, I'm emphasizing when some sort of terrorist sort of actions will happen. So media people usually should describe Muslim terrorist, or sometime back in Burma, Buddhist terrorist. It is totally wrong. Terrorist is terrorist. When the violent activities are carried and bloodshed, actually no longer Muslim, no longer Buddhist. So I think it is wrong, Buddhist terrorist or Islam terrorist. I think that's wrong. So according to Muslim, Islam, genuine Islam practitioner once create bloodshed, no longer genuine practitioner of Islam. The very meaning of jihad is not harming other people, but jihad is within your own emotion, combat between compassion and anger, or constructive emotion, destructive emotion, combat. That's the real meaning of jihad. So therefore, you see, actually all religion, I think, I myself also, as a simple Buddhist monk, whole days and even in dream time, I carry some sort of combat with my destructive emotion and constructive emotion. So almost 24 hours I carry jihad. Like that. So I think without knowing properly, then sometimes even you see some articles or some sort of impression, the clash between Western civilization and Islam, totally wrong. So that I think I want to share with you here. That's one thing. Then, thirdly, I'm Tibetan. So since political responsibility, now since 2011, I totally retired. Now no longer the responsibility about political matter. And not only myself retired, but also 4-century-old tradition. Dalai Lama institution automatically become head of both temporal and spirituality. Now that formally, proudly, voluntarily ended. So now Dalai Lama, not only myself, but in case future Dalai Lama come, no longer any sort of significance in the political field. The Chinese government, I think, still feel Dalai Lama is something important for political field. So therefore, they show more concern about Dalai Lama's reincarnation. I have not. So since then, my main sort of interest or responsibility is preservation of Tibetan culture. Tibetan culture is culture of peace, culture of non-violence, culture of compassion. I think that kind of culture is really worthwhile to preserve. And then, Buddhist tradition. I think we Tibetan, I think since 8th century, one top master of Nalanda institution invited by Tibetan emperor. He introduced Buddhism in Tibet according to Nalanda tradition. Nalanda tradition study all different schools of thought, including non-Buddhist school of thought. Then make comparison. When you make comparison, extensively use logic. So that's very, very helpful. I think in some extent, my own mind, because of way of training that way, so 81-year-old person's mind still quite, I'll say quite sharp. So now some contrast this and my brain is clear. This now difficult. So I really feel worthwhile to preserve Tibetan Buddhist knowledge. And then Tibetan environment. So my friend, also I think friend of Tibet, please keep in your mind regarding preservation of Tibetan ecology and Tibetan culture, Tibetan Buddhist knowledge. Okay. So, actually one Chinese ecologist, he wrote article. Several years history of study, he noticed effect from Tibetan plateau to global warming is as much as South Pole and North Pole. So he described Tibetan plateau is third pole. It is true. I think almost, you see, whole Asia, I think a major river, its ultimate source is Tibetan plateau. So I think over 1 billion human beings' life depend on these rivers. So taking care. especially about Tibetan environment, is not only concern for 6 million Tibetan people, but I think over billions sort of interest. So, finally, I want to thank you. Give me, or say you make me, honorary citizen of this Mare,
Lare
of this city.
Ro.
My dear friend,
E anche
Richard Gere,
il mio caro amico Richard.
thank you.